Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. A very happy menstrual hygiene day.
Very happy menstrual hygiene day to everybody that's joining in as well.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Let me first introduce Dr. Tanaya. I have this. What I know is you were graduate from Bharati Medical College and University of Oxford, England. So, like, you did your MBBS here, and then you're a gynecologist, right?
I'm not a gynecologist. I did my
Oh.
MBBS and then I further trained as a scientist. And now I focus on sexual and reproductive health.
Oh, okay. I was under the impression that you were. Is my voice clear? Because I can hear some sort of thing back.
It seems good to me. We can just see if the viewers are finding it nice.
Everyone who's watching, are you guys able to hear what clearly? Just a couple of messages which be okay. Okay, so you currently work as a doctor. That's what I was confused. What are they saying? Like, I understand you're a doctor. Okay, so you're currently working as a doctor. So what kind of a doctor are you working at?
So, as an MBBS doctor, you can continue practicing. You don't have to have a specialization. Now, my area is I trained in embryology. That's what I trained at. So, embryology would be how you treat infertility.
Sure, yeah.
And IVF, basically, if our followers have heard of that. So, I'm trained to do IVF mainly. And now I'm licensed to practice in India and in England as well. And I'll be moving there soon to continue my training as a gynecologist.
Okay, so you are currently working at Abdullah Allahabad, and you are a passionate environmentalist, scientist, and traveler. And you have an Instagram channel, which I think I've looked on your story. It was formed. I said I heard on your story that you have put today that Dr. Cuterus is what your Instagram handle was actually launched today. Exactly.
Yes.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is such a lovely way to celebrate this.
Yeah, and I hear that one of your USPs of the Instagram handle is to talk about sexual and reproductive health using cute cartoons in a very easy to understand language. I think I must check it out. I think it's a great way to.
I would be honored.
Yeah, it's a great way to educate people. So let's come back. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about. So, firstly, everyone, I was very surprised to actually see such a response to the post that I put about, somebody saying my voice is breaking. Sound is not clear.
Yeah, it does say that.
Yeah, so how do we go about this, guys? You're not audible, Kirti. Sounds off. Should I just come back again?
Yeah, I'll just add you again.
Okay.
Okay, so I have my headphones. Am I clear? Am I clear to everyone now? Can you guys hear me properly? Because there's no point if you're just seeing our faces and can't hear what we're here to talk about. Okay, so are we good, guys? Everyone who's watching, are you able to hear us? Just let us know a couple of comments and we should be good to go.
So many highs coming in.
Much better. Okay, Anuradha, hi. Okay. So first of all, I was saying that I was very pleasantly surprised to receive such a positive feedback on the post that I put today for menstrual cups for Be Safe, and I really wasn't aware that actually so many people actually know about cups already. And so I am so glad that so many of the people who commented are already using it. And there are people who have, who want to use it, but they are, not so sure about it. They have their sets of doubts and all of that. So before I talk to you about what does Menstrual Hygiene Day mean to you, I want to just tell all the people who are watching that, first of all, it's so important. Before we talk about the hygiene related to menstruation, let's just become comfortable talking about menstruation for what it is. And for those of you जिनको नहीं पता है menstruation का मतलब क्या होता है, in very simple terms, it's periods. उसे chumming भी कहते हैं. And somebody asked me if this live is only for girls. No, it's not. Even guys can watch it, and guys must watch it. And I think the fact that periods is such a big part of all our lives, like all the girls, all the women out there. It's such an important part of. It's something that comes to us every month, you know, and we know how those, you know, 7 to 10 days, like before the PMS, what we call PMS, the days, you know, of when we are actually chumming, how they actually, you know, can drive us crazy, like how much they mean to us, not just biologically, but how much of an effect they have on us psychologically, emotionally, mentally during the so-called PM, you know, the PMS time, and even for some people during the periods. So I think it's very important that we start talking about these things. और एक बेसिक मकसद ये होता है बात करने का ऐसी चीजों के बारे में जिनके बारे में लोग ज्यादातर खुल के बात नहीं करते हैं, is to normalize that subject, you know, and that's the whole attempt कि and I think it should start with all the girls. मतलब अगर हम खुद लड़कियां कंफर्टेबल नहीं होंगी इसके बारे में बात करने में, इसके बारे में एक दूसरे से बात करने में, इसके बारे में अपने फैमिली मेंबर्स से बात करने में, then we cannot expect the men around, whether it's your fathers or your brothers or your boyfriends, husbands, whoever, or your sons also. I mean, हम क्यों एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे कि वो इसके बारे में कंफर्टेबल होके बात करे. So I think it's high time that we start accepting this as a very important part of our lives and how much it affects us, and be ready to talk about it, be ready to even in some cases celebrate if we need to, you know, this whole thing. And I know for sure that some states in India, I know Andhra Pradesh for sure has a whole function when a girl reaches puberty and has her first period. They actually celebrate it like a mini wedding, which I could never understand when I was living in Visakhapatnam, because I was like, why are they doing that? Why are they letting the world know that, you know, they've got their periods? And, you know, today when I look at it and I'm like, kudos to these people. It's amazing how they can actually talk about it and be like, yes, you know, this is what has happened, and it's a cause for celebration. So I want to know from you, Dr. Tanaya, what does Menstrual Hygiene Day mean to you?
So when you think about it, I think it's very important that we define what menstrual hygiene is in context of the Menstrual Hygiene Day. So one would think that menstrual hygiene would just mean keeping clean, but that's not what it's all about. It's about things around your period, like where do you dispose of your menstrual products, where do you throw off your pads, tampons, cloth, whatever you're using, do you have access to running water or not. So this is why menstrual hygiene awareness is very, very important, because there's so much, it's such a taboo in our country to talk about these things that oftentimes people who have access to these things don't have awareness about these things. So access and awareness are different over here. And this is a brilliant idea, because I just recently read the story of how they chose this particular date of Menstrual Hygiene Day. So today is the 28th of May, which is 28th.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. So tell me, please tell us.
Would you like to share the story?
No, I would want you to see. I know that 28th. Why? I know the reason why it's 28th. It's celebrated on 28th because a regular and a very healthy period cycle is meant to be for 28 days, and that's why the 28th. I don't know about why it's May. So you want to tell us about that?
So the reason why they chose May in particular was because on an average a woman menstruates for about 5 days. And May is the 5th month of the year, that's why they chose 28.5. And incidentally, when they started this project, their aim was that this should be something that is widely talked about by 2020. And I think we're contributing heavily to their aim and that in this context. So I think it's wonderful.
No, I think it's great. And all of you, Menstrual Hygiene Day decoded for you right there. So, okay, we're going to talk about specifically about menstrual cups now, Dr. Tanaya, and I'm going to call you Tanaya, okay? Dr. Tanaya for me becomes too formal. Yeah. So so it just so happens that I have been using a cup for the last 2 years and more, and I have my own views on it, which I think we will start discussing as we go from one question to another. So quickly. Firstly, when you talk about menstrual cups, do they have sizes? Do they come in various sizes? Because some people, I know there are a lot of people out there who would be like, "ये I tried this, लेकिन ये मुझे fit नहीं हुआ." You know. So talking about the fit, what does it entail? And sizes की cups होती हैं क्या? ये सब के बारे में would you like to tell us about it?
So just the same way not everybody fits in the same clothes, not everybody fits into the same cup. So we have cups of different sizes, and of course these sizes are brand dependent, like clothes as well. So the way to go about it is usually there's two standard sizes, and then of course they have variations of this as well. The two standard sizes are one, there's a small one for people who have not given birth vaginally. So for example, if I have had a baby, I may have had it through a cesarean section. In this case, I will use the smaller cup. And the other is for women who have given birth vaginally. This is because they're able to accommodate a slightly larger cup. So it's easier. And then, of course, they have certain brands have special cups for teenagers as well. This is completely brand specific. But overall, we have two sizes to make them comfortable. And in case you are feeling like, usually what the problem that women face is, I'm just going to show my cup here, that people see this, that the stem becomes too long. So in case that's the case, you can just snip it off a little bit. And
okay, so guys, it's as simple as that. Two standard sizes, and depending on whether you've had a baby, which is what leads to the vagina expanding and becoming larger than it is in somebody who's not given birth to a baby. So two simple, small and large. Is that what it is? Whatever, like sometimes some people.
I would like to interrupt you there, sorry for that. The vagina doesn't become larger in women who have had babies. It's just able
it opens up.
Yeah.
It just opens up. So
a lot of people tend to worry that if I start using a cup, my vagina will become loose. So just to make sure
we will come to that. Okay, so guys, so what is going wrong with people who are saying I tried but मुझे fit नहीं हुआ? It's basically a size problem, and they need to go for a smaller size or a bigger size depending on what the problem is, right?
The other thing that can be there is that a lot of times women are so tense when they're trying to put it inside, or sometimes there's not enough lubrication because of which मुझे fit नहीं हुआ वाली problem होती है.
Sure.
So aside from trying different sizes, you can also snip off the stem. क्योंकि काफी बार ऐसा होता है, the stem pokes out and it becomes very uncomfortable. And the other thing is that अगर insert करने में problem हो रही है, you can get water-based lubricants. So they kind of make everything smooth and you can easily insert everything inside.
Okay, great. So so I'm presuming the lubricant you use for inserting a cup is the same as you use a lubricant you use for sex. Is that the thing? Right, like it's as simple as that, right? There are no special lubricants made for inserting.
Water-based lubricants.
Okay, great. So the next question is, now if it is not, how do you know that it's fit you well? In the sense that the position that it's supposed to be at, वहाँ पे it's stuck there. ताकि दो तीन प्रॉब्लम्स ना हो. एक तो ट्रिकल डाउन ना करे, मतलब there is no leakage to your panty or whatever from the cup. Secondly, so let's talk about that first.
Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate this with a very simple technique. So we'll take this little cup and we'll assume this is our vagina. And this is my cup. I'm going to fold it in half. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but I should try anyway. Yeah. And then it's open. Anyway, the idea is that you fold it
ऐसा भी होता है. So yeah.
This is what यही होता है. And you can see I've put it inside and I'm going to let it go. Except my finger is stuck. Okay. Okay, stuck there. Now, this is how it fits inside your vagina. This is your vagina. This is your cup inside. And the way to test it is you pull on it. Now, because this is moving, I know this isn't fit correctly. If it were fit correctly, there would be a little vacuum here, and this would not fall out. So when I would pull on it, it would stay in the same place like it is right now. And that's how you know it's fitting perfectly fine. You have to, once you put it inside, just gently tug on it, see if it feels comfortable, and nothing should be hanging outside. As long as this is there, you should be fine. If you want to be extra careful, you can use some panty liners, because initially when you're, getting the hang of it, there are stains, there are accidents, it does happen. So just check the vacuum, and here we see the vacuum's not there. So this is not a good thing.
I guess accidents can still happen. I mean, there are times that, depending on, sometimes you're in a rush, sometimes you are, at work or somewhere else, and you have to change your cup. And, in the rush and jalbazi mein, shayad you might be able to do it in a way that may not be perfect. So I think, like a lot of things in life, it really comes with trial and error. And once you get comfortable with using a cup, then you will know what's really going on with the cup, Okay, so somebody's asked, you have to get the feel of it. Okay, is it easier for people who are using tampons to shift to cups because both are being, the action is to insert it. So is it easier for people who are using tampons to use a cup, to shift to a cup?
It's not necessary that you have to use a tampon before you switch to a cup. It's just that women who do use tampons tend to be more comfortable navigating around their vaginas. So it does add a sense of comfort, but it's absolutely not important that, you've had experience with tampons before you switch to a cup. Just understand your body, get a feel of your body, and it should be fine.
Okay, and is it painful?
It should not be painful. So if it is painful, that means you're either shoving it in. Don't do that. It means either you're too dry, which can happen, because मैंने भी जब पहली बार खरीदा था, I was trying to put it in when I was not on my period, so everything was dry and it was hurting. In that case, you should lubricate it. It should, if done correctly, it should not be painful. If it's painful, that means you're doing something wrong. So stop, relax, breathe, because a lot of times when we become really tense, our vagina kind of just like contracts like this. And it's pretty hard to stuff something inside here right now.
So yes, guys, you need to it needs to be lubricated, and it's the best to, while people, when they buy it, naya kharidte hain, so you feel like trying it before periods really happen. But I think the best thing would be to just try during your periods, and of course if it doesn't work for you, you always an option of using pads or whatever. So don't worry about it like, oh my god, agar cup nahi fix hua, cup agar dhang se nahi baitha to matlab what's going to happen, aisa kuch bhi nahi hone wala hai. So okay, and does it ever, again, I think the question is, does it pop out automatically? I think the answer is there. Personally, it's never happened to me. Even if sometimes the position is not right, sometimes even if there's a little leakage happening, it's never happened that suddenly it's popped out. So I think, Jo, what you explained earlier, that when you know that it's a certain position pe it's fixed, then I don't think there are any chances of it just suddenly popping out. Am I right about that?
In one circumstance, it can pop out. It is when you go to take a poop, because it puts pressure on the vagina as well. So if you're going to have a poop and you feel like things are starting to poke out, make sure your fingers clean before you touch your cup, because you can cause a UTI this way. With clean fingers, just push it back gently inside. It won't fall out, but it can start poking out, and eventually, if the seal is broken, the vacuum is gone, then it can pop out. So it's not something that happens commonly to people, but we can just be careful about it.
Okay. And what about the okay, so one of the questions is, how many times should I change my cup in a day on an average?
So this completely depends on your flow. The answer to all of these questions is what fits you. To all our menstrual cup problems, the complete answer is what fits you best. And for a lot of people, they don't have a lot of heavy flow, then you can change it less often. The key thing to remember is that nothing should ever be inside there for more than 12 hours. For other period products, it's even less, but because this is made of medical grade silicone, it's safer. So definitely by 12 hours you should take it out. So you can very easily go to sleep, कोई tension नहीं है, आराम से सो जाओ. But you have to take it out after 12 hours and rinse it and then put it back inside again.
Yeah, guys, and really, like, it's, as I mentioned, it's one of those things that it's like anything new in life. Even when, you started using pads, it got some getting used to it. It took you some time to understand कैसे function होता है, कितना bleeding हो रहा है, कितनी बार मुझे change करना चाहिए. So the same thing is going to happen even with the menstrual cup. So it's not some rocket science. You will really figure it out. We women are capable of figuring out a lot more. So this is going to be simpler than a lot of it. So yeah, but also you mentioned the fact that it's made of medical, what is that? What is the word you use?
Medical grade silicone.
Medical grade silicone. So these cups are basically made of medical grade silicone, which I believe they're obviously not biodegradable, which is some people ask me. So it's not biodegradable, but it's absolutely made of a material which is not dangerous, non-toxic, it's non-dangerous, and it's absolutely safe to be inserted in your vagina. Right? Okay. Yeah, and okay, how do you now, when you are changing your cup, what is the process of washing it, or how do you clean it before you put it back again?
So the removal technique is different for different people. It took me about 3 cycles before I properly got a hang of it, and it was, quite literally a bloody disaster every time I was trying to take it out. But the way to do it is, once you figure out your technique, there's lots of different folds and ways you can see on the internet. The main thing to remember is, when you are taking it out, where did my cup go? Oh, there it is. You should squeeze the bottom. So there are some air holes over here. When you squeeze the bottom, it lets the suction go. And this way you can safely pull it out without, pulling on your internal organs too much. Because if there's a vacuum, you're pulling on things.
So sorry, are you saying that, so you're talking about how it needs to be pulled out. What about the little thing niche? Like, don't you use that? Yeah, the stem. Don't you use that to pull it out?
There is some conflicting data on whether or not you should pull it out from this, which is why it's just safer to err on the side of caution, which is that using your stem, keep climbing up using your stem. This is like your little rope. Your Romeo, is it Rapunzel? Prince Charming, is it? Yeah. Your Prince Charming, take Rapunzel's rope, climb up to the balcony, and then squeeze it. When you squeeze it, this is a safer way of pulling it out. Otherwise, sometimes it can be a little uncomfortable if there's so much vacuum that you're tugging on.
But Tanaya, if you are kind of pressing it from the bottom, isn't there a way that, while pulling it out, blood could actually spill out?
This is why it's important to understand how quickly you fill your cup, and it takes a little bit of trial and error.
Okay.
It won't like burst out of the blood. It will be a little bit of a trickle, if at all, but it won't be like an explosion, essentially.
Yeah, sure.
So ideally, when you're learning to do this, you should take it out safely inside a bathroom where you can clean yourself. And once you squeeze it, you pull it out, and then it's completely simple. Dump the blood inside the toilet, flush it, and just rinse this with water.
You don't need to use soap like before, like putting it.
Soap.
I do that. I wash it every time with soap before putting it on.
But the important thing to remember with soap is that the soap should ideally be non-perfumed. Because perfume can irritate some people sometimes.
Yeah.
So ideally, if you can get non-perfumed soap, best. Otherwise, you can use whatever soap.
Water is. You're saying water is good enough for everybody.
Water is good enough in most cases.
In most cases. So all of you, जो भी यहाँ पे सब cleanliness OCDs हैं, and you get like all freaked out about, oh my god, इसको साफ करना है. Trust me, guys, most of the times water is enough, and so it's the same in this case. And what about once you've finished your cycle, full cycle of periods, How do you sterilize the cup? How do you clean it up and keep it safely for the next usage?
So it's quite simple again. Just boil it. Take a cup of boiling, not a cup, a vessel of boiling water. Put it inside the vessel, and the two things that you should kind of take care of is make sure this is not touching the bottom of the vessel because it can burn sometimes. If it's very thin bottom vessel, then make sure there's enough water, boil it, and once it's boiled, let it cool down. I burnt myself on numerous occasions, so let it cool down. And once that is done, just put it away inside, ideally a cloth bag so it's well ventilated and it's also clean. And put it away until your next cycle.
I think, I do that. Like, I sterilize it after every use. Same thing I do. And I think most of the brands offer you kapre ka bags with the cups. So that's the best way, as you said, to ventilate it and, let it just like, usko bhi hawa lagne do till your next period is actually coming. So, great. And, okay, so one of the things is, you said we spoke about pooping, and we spoke about the fact that while doing that, the cup can come out. So whatever we need to do then. Can people pee? क्या आप कप के रहते हुए pee कर सकते हैं? I know the answer, but I would like you to talk about it.
Absolutely, you can pee while wearing the cup, and that's because the hole that your pee comes out from, your pee hole, which is also called your urethral hole.
Urethra. Isn't that urethra?
So this is your urethral
it's the tube. Okay.
Yeah,
I was just trying to show off. And I failed miserably at it. So yes, please carry on.
You still get 3/4 of a point.
Thank you. So yes, you can complete. Please carry on.
So the urethra is not large enough to fit the cup inside. Simply put. So you are putting it inside your vagina, and there's no way that the pee is going to go inside unless there's a complication which we won't get into because that's rare.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
You can easily pee with your menstrual cup inside.
Okay, now a very important question, Tanaya, which I know a lot of girls who are virgins out there are wondering about the cup. क्या cup use करने से आपकी virginity खो जाती है? The $1 million question. Please answer it, and yes, let people know about this.
I love the fact that खो जाती है जैसे मतलब.
I was trying to look for another word, but खो जाती is very dramatic, and people are very, very particular about, वो अपनी उसको बहुत संभाल के रखना चाहते हैं, and anything that kind of, because there's so many myths around whatever that thing, what is it? Hymen, right? Is it hymen? Yeah, how the hymen can be ruptured or torn apart. इतने सारे इसको लेकर इतनी गलतफहमियां हैं that I would really like you to talk about this.
So the way to remember this is that the hymen is not a dhakkan. It's like a chandi. So it has holes in it anyway. If it were like a dhakkan, so imagine once again, if this is a vagina, इस पे अगर hymen का ढक्कन लगा हुआ है, where is the menstrual blood ever going to come out? Which means it's going to start collecting upper, which means the uterus is going to be full of blood. So the hymen in itself has holes in it, which means you can put things inside. In most cases, the hymen looks a little bit like a rubber band. So it's circular.
Yeah.
It has a hole in the center, usually in most cases. Sometimes it can be half a moon shaped. There's multiple variations.
Yeah.
And breaking of your hymen, A, does not mean that your virginity is lost, first of all. And then secondly, how do we define what virginity is? You can break your hymen while playing sports. You can break your hymen while fingering yourself. So from masturbation, if your partner has fingered you, you can break your hymen that way. You can break your hymen from doing very extreme yoga, from riding your bike. There's so many ways of doing that.
And you can break your hymens by using tampons as well. अगर cups का problem है, so of course tampons तो फिर इसमें आते ही हैं. So I think the basic answer to this is no. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होता है कप से. And as Tanaya mentioned, आप बहुत reason से अपना hymen break कर सकते हैं. And breaking your hymen never ever, in most cases, doesn't equate to losing your virginity. So please, थोड़ा सा अपने आप को एजुकेट करिए, ये सब पुरानी बातें जो चलती आ रही हैं उनको अपने आप से उनसे बाहर निकलिए, बिकॉज आई अंडरस्टैंड हमें बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसे फोकट में मिल जाती हैं अपने पेरेंट्स से, अपनी सोसाइटी से, बहुत कुछ हमें सीखने को मिलता है जो हमें नहीं सीखना चाहिए. And this is probably one of it. So please educate yourselves, and this is surely not going to happen. Okay, one thing that I really want to talk about the fact, one thing I think personally for me, what made me make the change was really the fact that I came to understand कि जब हम pads use करते हैं, जो pads actually होते हैं, जो sanitary napkins all over the world use होती हैं, except for the ones जो अभी बननी शुरू हुई हैं, जो cotton से बनती हैं, organic जिसको बोलते हैं, या जो भी basically जो cotton होता है, उसके अलावा जो भी आपको commercial sanitary napkins आप use करते हैं, it takes a long time for them to be to actually decompose, and they take a long time to biodegrade, if that is the word I could use. And Tanaya is stuck. So
so are you actually. So I'm wondering if this is a problem on my side.
Yes, we are back. Hi. Yeah, I know. So I was saying that, so I understood the fact कि इनको decompose होने में, या for them to return back to earth and become a part of the whole thing takes a long time. और चाहे वो tampons, and I think the same thing is for tampons as well, but obviously pads के लिए ज़्यादा है because they use so much more material and stuff. And I think this is one reason that I really said कि this is not happening. If you look at the number of girls and women in the world, and if you look at them using the number of sanitary napkins every month, it's see, there you go, you have those details right there. It's crazy, and I think environment is one thing, the most important reason I made the shift. And so I would like you to talk a little bit about that as well.
So again, like we have the numbers right here. We've got about 33.6 crore women in India who menstruate. About one third of these use a pad. So 12.2 crore use a pad, which means every year we're generating 43.2 crore pads. That's just the amount of pads we're generating. And then each pad takes nearly 500 to 800 years to decompose. 43.2 crore pads every year, 500 to 800 years to decompose, and this is being added on every single year. So the amount of plastic we generate with this is just astounding. And the reason why I made the switch was, so I'm a scuba diver, and one of the first few times that I went properly training how to dive, I was expecting to see lots of fish. I was a young diver, very excited. What I saw instead was a lot of plastic.
Wow.
And that really changed my perspective because they were packed.
Did you stop scuba diving after that?
Sorry?
Did you stop scuba diving after that? I hope not.
I switched to a cup after that. Incidentally,
Nice.
the cup is one of the few things that you can use while diving as well, so brilliant.
Yeah, oh yes, you can. I was going to talk about that as well, so yeah.
And swimming as well. So yeah, I think that's the point we should discuss now.
So guys, there you go. She has already given you the stats of actually how much we are adding to the waste in the whole world by using pads. So I think this should be a big reason for all of us to shift to it. And secondly, the fact that as Tanaya mentioned, that you can use cups during swimming and diving as well. So tell us about that, because a lot of people get scared, like, oh, I'm on my periods, I can't swim and this and that. So cup changes the whole game, and please tell us how.
So I have a little model here that we can use too. I have to throw the baby out, sorry. Yeah, so this is what your uterus looks like. There's also a uterus right behind me in case you're interested. But this is what a uterus looks like. If you slice it in half, this is what it's like. This is the endometrium. This is the part that's shed out when you have your period. And this is the vagina. This is where the vagina opens. Now, I'm going to use a headphone bud to demonstrate a cup. But let's, use
How
this
cute.
here. If you stuff this thing here, now you can see that there's no way for the blood to leak out anywhere.
Yeah.
The vagina walls are going to hold the cup in place like it's being
Yeah.
held right now. And there's no way for it to, pop outside anywhere. So you can
Yeah.
go into the pool without making everything red.
Yeah. Well, great. I also heard about this thing that when you actually go into water, because of there is some kind of a vacuum that's created, which anyway doesn't allow, like when you go diving, in the sea as well, or diving or snorkeling or whatever, they don't really bother about you being on your periods, because also there is some way that you don't really bleed in water, because there's
So
a
the
kind of
first
a
thing is,
opposite.
yeah. So with diving, the first thing is there's so much pressure that everything's kind of flat and contracted.
Yeah.
And the other important thing to remember is that our vagina walls are not, it's not like a circle all the time. Our vagina walls are actually always like this. When you put something inside, it becomes like this. So it's like if you take a balloon and
Yeah.
a deflated balloon, it is always like this. That's what our vagina walls are normally like. If you stick anything inside, it will expand a little bit, so there's no space for anything to leak out. And then on top, you add the pressure of the water.
Of course, yeah, of the water. So, guys, this is good news for all of you who love swimming and love diving and snorkeling or whatever. Nothing is going to come in the way, not even your periods. Yay! Okay. Okay. Another reason why I made the shift to pads is the fact that the amount of money that I have been spending on pads forever, compared to that, buying a cup, like someone asked me, okay guys, quickly we're going to start taking your questions in the next 2 minutes. This is the last one from our side, and then we'll quickly run to your questions. So the point that I'm trying to make is the amount of money you spend on a cup. Of course, there's PSafe, on whose account we are talking right now, and this, we are talking on their behalf and for them, and this has been organized for them, by them, and I think it's a great initiative. So keep it up, PSafe. And of course, they are the brand, and there are a lot of other brands who are selling cups and other things also. So please feel free to check them out and do what you need to do. But the fact that if you buy a cup, it usually lasts you anywhere from at least till about 5 years. You can use the same cup for at least 5 years, Tanaya.
Unless, of course, your cup has torn or has visible imperfections. 5 to 10 years is the average life of every cup. So for 10 years, let's take the conservative estimate. For 5 years, you don't have to buy any pads. A one-time 500 to 1,000 rupee investment, you're sorted for the next 5 years.
So guys, I don't think it can get better than this. And we have pretty much listed out all the things that we could. How to insert the cup? Guys, insert the cup. I think Tanaya, do you want to just quickly show how you insert the cup? You did that initially as well. So yeah.
I actually dropped my glass and I broke it. So I'm just.
Wow! I didn't hear the. How come I didn't hear the shattering of the glass? So anyway, just.
When the connection went away.
Oh, okay.
This is your cup. What I usually do, there's different techniques available. You can just fold it in half and then fold it once again. So it kind of looks like this. Then you take it inside and then you let it go. It opens up like this. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So as we said, this is just trial and error that you need to get used to. You need to try it to not just become good at it. People are speaking about how safe is it to use the cups from an infection point of view. There are times people get rashes, people get UTIs also when during their period because of using pads, or I don't know if it happens with tampons as well. So how safe is it to use a cup from an infection point of view?
So from an infection point of view, the cup is actually one of the safest things you can use because first of all, it's made of medical grade silicone. So it's straight away significantly more sophisticated in that sense. And then secondly, there's a huge risk that comes with using tampons and pads, which is called toxic shock syndrome. This is a rare syndrome, but what happens here is that your body, because you're providing this perfect medium for the bacteria to grow, it's like nutrient rich because blood has so much nutrition in it. You're providing a nutrient rich medium for the bacteria to grow, and this bacteria can go inside your blood and just, have a little party essentially and sometimes kill you. So the way to protect yourself from toxic shock syndrome is make sure you're not leaving your pads and tampons inside for a long time. But even then, the best way is to eliminate the risk completely and use a menstrual cup.
Okay, so someone is talking about what are the disadvantages of using a cup?
So this
Can you think of any?
From personal experience. So I've been using a cup for about 3 years now. And a lot of times during this, I would be posted in for field work and stuff like that. And I would have to go to rural areas where there would be no access to a clean bathroom or running water.
Oh, water, yeah.
Yeah. So this is where, cups can be a little bit problematic, but overall, overarchingly, they're the best decision you can make, honestly, for your menstrual health and like comfort.
Yeah. Guys, this is a view that I completely share with. क्या ये comfortable रहता है, इसको कैसे use करना है? See, guys, we have given you a general picture of what cups are like, how they can be used, what are the problems, not the problems. But most of all, from our personal experience, it's very, very safe to use cups. And जितने problems या infections आपको बाकी चीजों से होते हैं, which is pads and tampons, उससे तो comparison में बहुत कम chances होते हैं menstrual cup से कुछ भी होने के. And of course, hygiene is something that we can't teach you. मतलब we can make you aware of it, but आपकी personal hygiene आपको handle करनी है. अगर आप 5-5 दिन तक नहीं नहाएंगे और बोलेंगे कि मुझे बहुत खुजली होती है body में, then we can't really help you there. Like you can't be like कुछ इलाज बताइए. इलाज is please नहाइए, रोज नहाइए. That's the only इलाज. So very simply, you have to take care of yourself. And you can start using. From what age can you start using the cups? What do you advise, Tanaya?
So you can start using the cup when you start menstruating. It's perfectly fine, but the vaginal muscles are a little bit more tense at that time. You're not very comfortable with understanding your body. So once you're comfortable, you can start. There's no reason to not use them, essentially, unless there's medical conditions where you can speak to your doctor about them.
Okay. And anything else? Anybody else wants to ask something? Yes, I think Be Safe is going to save this. There is no specific material, guys. All the cups in the world are only made of the thing that you spoke about, the medical grade silicone.
Actually,
are there different material as well?
Available as well, but they are
made of?
specially manufactured. So there's something called thermoplastic, so TPE.
Okay.
And there's another one that's made of latex. But then these are special cups, and these are not the ones you'll regularly find on the market. You will find
So regularly आपको जो cup अभी Tanaya has been showing यही आपको मिलेंगे. And of course Be Safe also has them. I'm not trying to promote them too much because they have asked me not to promote them too much. But Be Safe के अलावा भी बहुत brands हैं. फिलहाल तो people are so aware of the whole cup thing that बहुत सारी brands हैं. So please आप कोई भी brand use कर सकते हैं. And so guys, I'm going to come to an end with this whole thing. Tanaya, anything you want to add? Because then otherwise I'm going to conclude the session.
I think we can close on the note that let's comfort the entire world.
Yes, guys. While everyone can tell you they can show you how this and that works. जैसे हमने आज cups के बारे में आपको inform किया है. But the whole point is #bleed your way. Basically be aware of all the different products that are available in the market to take care of your menstruation and the hygiene attached to it. And उसमें से आपको जो भी suit करता है, please opt for it and make sure your menstrual hygiene is completely your responsibility, and you have to educate yourself in every which way possible, and then educate others around you about it, and just take care of yourself. So a very happy menstrual hygiene day again. And Tanaya, thank you so much for having me here. Thank you, Be Safe. And all you guys for watching, thank you so much once again. And hopefully I'll see you again. No, hopefully to nahi, matlab, of course I'll see you again at some point. And take care of yourselves. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.